I found this shirt in the bag, and this used to be my favorite. I've probably worn this 100 times. Definitely not wrinkle resistant. Definitely needs to be washed, but it's Michel Kors, like the band Kors, K-O-R-S, and French designer. He thought it appropriate to put his name on the front there. You can see the M. And kind of reminds me of not having clothes at all. In 1972, 73, my mom and dad split, not due to a divorce, but due to convenience. Robbie could finish out his sophomore year at Anthony Wayne High School in Toledo, or southwest of Toledo anyway. And Anthony Wayne met an interesting fate, and Trent points this out often. The Indians weren't real fond of white men giving them horrible diseases, cholera and blankets. And so they fought back, and this General Mad Anthony Wayne, they'd call him, because he's utterly crazy. And they got a hold of him, the Indians, I don't know the tribe, and they put him on a pole, and they cut him open, and they wrapped his lower and higher intestines around his body and danced as he bled to death. So that's a rather somber story that you don't hear that often. And White House was a great place to live. It was on a spring-fed lake, and fishing was great. But the best lake was the Nuns Lake, because they owned the lake next door. It was even cleaner, even colder, and we'd go there with a giant inner tube, and you could stand on these things with the dexterity we had and rock around and try to knock the other person down. And the other game we played is touch the bottom, and you had to bring up some seaweed and mud. There wasn't a lot of mud, but you had to bring up something, just sand, gravel from the bottom, to prove that you made it. And it was probably 20 or 25 feet down, which is a lot, for 11 or 12-year-old. And we were so thrilled to have both these lakes right in proximity to our house. And those are some of the best memories. The inner tube that we played on came from a giant truck tire. I don't even know if that's made to code, or maybe somebody got a giant inner tube. 3 or 4 of us could stand up at the same time. I don't remember the penalty for getting knocked off. That was probably the funnest part of the whole thing, next to diving down to the bottom and bringing up some gravel. So the shirt has its M on it, but needs major washing and wrinkling, anti-wrinkling.